Alright, the answer to number 80 is 12 and negative 12. 82 is 1 and then negative 1/3. 84 is 1 and 2. 86 is negative 1 and 1. 88 is 4 and negative 4. 90 is 12 and negative 12. 92 is 8/3 and negative 4/3. 94 is no solution because your absolute value can't start out equaling a negative. 96 is 4 and negative 4. 98 is negative 4 and 3. 100 is negative 4 and 1, and 0 and negative 3. There were 4 answers on that one because you had to solve a quadratic equation. On 102, we did not do that one. Alright, so then we went to the next page, which were your word problems. And we found out for 24 that there were 20 caramels and 10 creams, and I set up 2 equations to solve that. 32, I got a 19 by 19. For B, I got 9.5 feet by 28.5 feet. For C, I got a radius of 12.93, so a diameter of 25.83. Then you had to say what one had the best area, and if you remembered from B's unit, the circular one did, or you would have to go and actually find the area of all of them. 48, your radius is 3. And then for number 12, we had to write it in interval notation and then and then in inequality notation. So that bracket 2, comma, infinity, the parenthesis, then x is greater than 2 or equal to. And 14, we got a parenthesis, negative infinity to 0 with a bracket, x is less than or equal to 0. For 16, negative 1 to 1. Negative 1 has a parenthesis, 1 has a bracket. So negative 1 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 1. 24, negative 1 to 5, both with parentheses. Negative 1 is less than x, which is less than 5. 26, negative 2 to 0. Parentheses on both. Negative 2 is less than x, which is less than 0. 28, negative infinity to 5, 5 with a bracket. X is less than or equal to 5. 30, 1 to infinity. 1 with a bracket, or both of them with parentheses, and x is greater than 1. 32, I go 1 is less than x, which is less than 2. Or if you did the interval notation, you would say 1 to 2 with parentheses. 34, we have 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 1. So 0 to 1, 0 has bracket, 1 parentheses. 36, we got x is less than or equal to 2. So negative infinity to 2 with a bracket on 2. 38, x is greater than negative 8. So negative 8 to infinity, negative 8 has a parenthesis. Alright, 54, we got x is less than 7. 57, x is greater than 3. 60, x is greater than or equal to 5. 63, x is less than or equal to 2/3. 66, x is greater than negative 7/4. 69, 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 5. Or you could have it written separately. So x is greater than or equal to 3, and x is less than or equal to 5. For 72, we got x is less than or equal to 3, and x is greater than or equal to negative 3, and you could write it as one big one. 75, x is less than 0, and x is less than negative 6. You could also write that as a big one. 78, x is less than 11. 81, a half is less than x, which is less than 5/4, and that half is less than or equal to x. 84, x is less than 9, and x is greater than negative 9. 87, x is less than 4, and x is greater than negative 4. 90, x is greater than 3, and x is less than negative 3. 93, t is greater than or equal to 2, and t is greater than or equal to negative 2/3. 96, x is greater than or equal to negative 2, and x is less than or equal to negative 6. Alright, that was a lot of problems. And we are done with those, so please come with questions over those for next time. The next part of the chapter is starting to deal with linear equations and writing in a linear equation given certain information. So on this one, if I have the slope between 2 points, can I find it? You should all be able to find the slope between 2 points. It is the change in y over the change in x. So our change in y on this one is 1 minus 0 over negative 2 minus 0. So you get 1 over negative 2. Yeah, you go you. Do the same thing here. So we got 2 minus negative 2 over negative 1 minus negative 1. So you have 4 over 0. Can you divide by 0? No. So you should say undefined. Alright, now some of you say, oh, is this the x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1? Yes, it is. Do you have to memorize that? No. Remember the change in y over the change in x. Some of you say, well, do I have to start with the second ordered pair? No. You can start with the first ordered pair. As long as when you start with the first ordered pair when you're finding the change in y, you start with the first ordered pair when you find the change in x. Alright, so graph the line with the following characteristics. So, we are going through this point of negative 1, 3. So hopefully we all know how to plot a point. And we have a slope, m, it's representative of slope. We have a slope of 0. So that means we have a horizontal line. The slope is undefined, it's a vertical line. Alright, so here we got the point 1, 2. And it's parallel to that. What does parallel mean? Parallel lines have the same slope. So what is the slope of this equation? You should say the slope is negative 1. So if my slope is negative 1, can I go down 1 into the right one and down 1 into the right one? You betcha, because this line that you just drew has the same slope as this line. Alright, find the equation of the line with the following characteristics. Here's a point, and here is a point. Uh-oh. When we write an equation, we have to have y equals mx plus b. We have to have the slope, and we have to have the y-intercept. You should know from World of Functions, we find our slope first. So find your slope between these 2 points. You should go 3 minus 1, and negative 1 minus 1. And you get 2 over negative 2, which is negative 1. So we have y equals negative 1x plus b. How did you figure out what b was in World of Functions? You picked a point and plugged it in. So we can pick negative 1, 3, or 1, 1. I'm going to pick 1, 1 because that's way easy. So 1 for y, 1 for x. Solve for b. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Add the 1. You get 2 equals b. So here's our slope, there's our y-intercept, there's our slope. So your equation is y equals negative 1x plus 2. Do you have to put negative 1x? No, you can just write negative x if you choose. Alright, so here's our slope, and here's our y-intercept. They give it to you? How baby. So we got y equals negative 3x minus 1. No work needs to be shown. Alright, now we've got to write another equation. Still same directions, a little bit different information. Parallel to this line. So that means if it's parallel, they have the same slope. So use this slope. What is this slope? You should say 2. So our m is 2. Yay, we have something done for us. We got y equals 2x plus b, based off of that chunk of information. It says it contains the point, negative 1, 2. Can I use that to find b? Oh yeah. So y is 2. X is negative 1. B, I don't know. Solve for it. So 2 equals negative 2 plus b. Add 2. B is 4. So we have our m. We have our b. Write your equation. Y equals 2x plus 4. Yay, go us.